The same blue box that once fed soldiers now shows up drizzled with truffle oil on fine dining menus. What happened in between? Every second, 27 boxes of Kraft Mac and Cheese are sold. That's nearly 1 million a day. In 1943 alone, 50 million boxes flew off the shelves. Fast forward nearly 90 years, and now it's being plated beside lobster tails and white linen napkins. Let's break down how it's made, from raw wheat and aged cheddar to that iconic cheese powder, and uncover how a shelf-stable classic became a cultural chameleon. This is the story of Kraft Mac and Cheese. And trust us, it's more fascinating than you think. What do World War II soldiers and fine dining chefs have in common? Believe it or not, this humble blue box. Kraft macaroni cheese hit grocery shelves in 1937, right in the thick of the Great Depression. For just 19 cents, you could feed a family of 4. No fridge, no oven, no meat required. Just boil, mix, and boom. Dinner was served in under 10 minutes. Then came World War II. With meat and dairy heavily rationed, America needed alternatives. Kraft stepped in, not just as a product, but as a solution. In 1943, Americans bought over 50 million boxes. That's nearly 1 box for every person in the country at the time. But this isn't just a story about hunger or convenience. It's about emotion. Kraft quickly became part of the American kitchen, woven into memories of childhood dinners, quick fixes between night shifts, and late-night college cramming. Today, it's more than just boxed pasta. It's a cultural chameleon. You'll find it microwaved by kids after school, mixed with sriracha in dorms, baked with breadcrumbs in suburban kitchens, even paired with lobster and truffle oil at upscale bistros. Honestly, I've tried the fancy stuff, but something about the powdered cheese just hits different. Call it nostalgia, or maybe just solid food engineering. And that's what makes Kraft Mac and Cheese unique. It didn't just survive economic downturns, war, and changing diets. It adapted. It stayed relevant. It became emotional currency. Here's something wild. The pasta in your mac and cheese might pack more protein than your protein bar. The secret? 100% durum wheat semolina, the gold standard for pasta, thanks to its high protein content and gluten strength. That's what gives Kraft's noodles their signature bounce. And this isn't grown just anywhere. Kansas, North Dakota, Montana, America's wheat belt grow the goods. These aren't hobby farms. They're part of a generational system where soil health isn't a trend, it's the rule. So here's a debate for you. Does the wheat make the mac, or is it all about the cheese? Personally, I've had overpriced pasta at restaurants that didn't taste half as satisfying. Turns out, $4 mac in a box beats $24 pasta, if the grains got game. After harvest, the grain is cleaned, milled into fine flour, and shipped by freight to the Kraft Heinz facility. No gimmicks, just a tight, efficient supply chain moving tons of future mac. Picture this. Somewhere in the Midwest, a combine hums across golden fields, collecting what'll become your next late-night comfort meal. From field to box in weeks. That's the power of scale. But this is just the raw material. Next up, where flour turns into form, and things start to get real. Your creamy mac and cheese starts out looking like Play-Doh. Surprised? You're not alone. Behind that velvety bite is a carefully engineered process. And it all starts with the dough. It begins with durum wheat. Tough, golden, protein-rich, loaded into massive industrial mixers. But flour alone doesn't cut it. It needs precision, water, pressure, and timing. Picture this. Mixers churning like concrete trucks, forming a dense, elastic mass. Not too wet, not too dry. One misstep, the pasta crumbles, or worse, turns to mush. Every variable, moisture, temperature, pressure, is tracked to the decimal. Because here, al dente isn't just a cooking term, it's engineering. Some purists might scoff, that's not real pasta. But if it grips cheese like a champ and holds its bite after boiling, does it matter? I've made pasta from scratch, took hours, wrecked my kitchen, and tasted like effort. Kraft? Done in minutes. Tastes like childhood. Works every time. I know my winner. The dough mixed by machines worth more than a sports car. Your favorite Mac shape? Born from extreme pressure, and a blade spinning faster than your thoughts after a third coffee. Once the dough is prepped, it's loaded into a massive pasta extruder. Picture a giant metal toothpaste tube, but instead of minty freshness, it squeezes out pasta perfection. The magic happens at the extrusion die, a steel mold that shapes each piece under intense pressure. Curve, thickness, diameter, all precision-tuned like a pasta-obsessed sculptor working in steel. Then, boom! A high-speed blade slices the dough into perfect elbows. Each cut more precise than your barista's latte art. One wrong setting? You don't get elbows. You get sad noodles that don't hold cheese. Unforgivable. You can have the perfect pasta shape, but dry it wrong, and mac and cheese becomes mac and sadness. After extrusion, those iconic elbows head into massive drying tunnels. Nothing is random. Heat starts low, spikes high, then drops, pulling out just the right amount of moisture, less than 12%. It's like baking a cake, with the oven door opening and closing at perfect moments. Except this cake is made of wheat and has to last for months. Some batches dry for 4 hours, others take 12. It depends on size, airflow, even the weather that day. That's how sensitive this step is. But not every elbow makes it in. Each piece is scanned for size, shape, and smoothness, then pressed to test its bounce. Only the best, springiest elbows graduate. Comforting to know my mac and cheese passed quality control better than I did in school. That neon orange cheese powder you've stirred 100 times? It started as a 40-pound block of aged cheddar, with more food science behind it than your last meal prep. Once the cheddar hits peak maturity, it's shredded and melted in industrial kettles. Picture bubbling vats of molten cheese, big enough to swim in. From there, it becomes the base of the legendary Kraft cheese sauce. This isn't your stovetop melt. It has to be flawless, smooth, creamy, shelf-stable, and still taste like comfort. Honestly, it still blows my mind that something that starts off as a legit block of dairy ends up tasting like a hug from your childhood. But maybe that's why this cheese hits different. At this stage, the real cheddar base gets a serious upgrade. Paprika, turmeric, and annatto step in to do more than just color the mix. Paprika brings warmth and complexity. Turmeric adds that sunny yellow hue, plus some antioxidant bragging rights. And annatto, extracted from achiote seeds, delivers that bold, glowing orange we all recognize. Then comes the supporting cast. Salt for balance, whey for creaminess, citric acid for that subtle tang, and a blend of natural flavors, aka the secret sauce. Together they hit every note. Savory, salty, creamy, just tangy enough to keep you reaching for the next bite. Honestly, it's kind of genius. No matter how refined your palate gets, that cheesy hit still lands. That smooth, clingy cheese sauce that never splits? It's not butter magic, it's sodium phosphate. Sounds industrial, but without it, your mac would turn into greasy, gritty chaos. Think pizza oil meets cottage cheese. Not exactly comfort food. Sodium phosphate is an emulsifier. It keeps oil and water from fighting, like a food-grade peace treaty. It's the reason your cheese sauce stays glossy and stable when you stir in milk or butter. Without it, you're chasing lumps. Honestly, I used to think creaminess came from butter ratios or milk quality. Nope, it's this behind-the-scenes hero doing the heavy lifting. A pinch of food science and boom, your midnight craving turns into a smooth, orange masterpiece in 3 minutes flat. That creamy cheese sauce you stir into pasta all happens inside a spray dryer. And yes, it's exactly as intense as it sounds. Liquid cheese is atomized, exploded into microscopic droplets, then hit with scorching air, Boom, moisture gone. What's left? The iconic powder we've all spilled at least once. At the Kraft plant, these dryers are taller than most city apartments and run 24/7. Why? Because the secret to smooth, non-clumpy cheese powder is constant control. Low oxygen keeps fats from turning rancid. Heat dehydrates without destroying nutrients. I used to think powder meant less real. But now, knowing it's basically just cheese turned cloud, I kind of respect the hustle. It's like alchemy, only FDA approved. That tiny cheese packet weighed to a precision of 0.1 grams, tighter tolerances than some luxury watches. Why? Because one clumpy underfilled packet can ruin someone's entire night. Back in the Kraft facility, that famous powder flows into high-speed machines that fill and seal each shiny silver packet, the ones we all instinctively shake like maracas. The packaging? Laminated foil, moisture-proof, oxygen-resistant, strong enough to survive long-haul shipping and chaotic kitchen drawers. And if a packet doesn't meet weight or seal standards, it's out. No second chances. But get this, rejected packets aren't wasted. They're recycled right back into new packaging. Efficient, clean, no drama. I'll admit, I used to tear them open without thinking. Now, I kinda owe them an apology. There's a whole team making sure that cheese powder hits exactly when and how it should. Mac and cheese assembly isn't done by hand. It's a full-blown, high-speed choreography of robots, sensors, and conveyor belts moving faster than your morning coffee run. Elbow macaroni, measured to the gram, is portioned into boxes or those microwave cups we all secretly love. Then, with machine-like precision, a foil-sealed cheese powder packet is slipped in right beside it. Each box gets stamped with a lot code and expiration date. So if something ever goes wrong, spoiler, rarely, Kraft can trace it back in seconds. Fun fact, a single production line can pack over 100,000 servings a day, enough to feed an entire NFL stadium 10 times over. These robotic arms scoop, pack, seal, and slide each box down the line like a cheese-powered dance routine. Then it's on to bulk packaging, cartons filled, palletized, and shipped out to stores, restaurants, and even emergency relief orgs. All of this runs through Kraft Heinz's national logistics network, including a 20,000 square foot expansion at their Wauwatosa plant, a pandemic-era upgrade that earned them a National Manufacturing Innovation Award. So there you have it. From durum wheat to neon cheese dust to an award-winning robot-packed box of comfort food. The next time you rip open that packet, you'll know just how much tech, science, and cheddar pride went into making it. Now tell us this. If you could redesign one part of the mac and cheese experience, what would it be? The cheese flavor, the packaging, the portion size? Drop your ideas in the comments. We read them all. And if you thought this was satisfying, wait till you see how frozen pizzas are made. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Catch you next box.